Hi and welcome to our little video. We will talk about the use of antibiotics in the animal and farming industry. So we will give you a little introduction and then some facts and figures and also what we can do and the reasons why we actually all should turn vegetarian and our challenges today.
Why are antibiotics used in the meat industry? In this farm, the animals are in close contact with each other, leading to a more rapid spread of diseases and bacteria. So the farmers use the antibiotic in a preventive move to ensure the quality of the product and maintaining a certain level of hygiene. In the next picture, you can see the pigs are in a little space in comparison from the mass that they use in our industry of meat, like cows and chickens that are in the next slide. You can see that chickens are next to each other, so one disease from one chicken can spread to the whole farm. The same with cows. In fact, the cows in this picture are in a very dire state.
As you can see, in this graph, we can look at the concentration of antibiotics in different meats of the United States. And we can check easily that the turkey is the highest, being like 10 times the amount of the chicken. And the cow and the pig are very similar, but the pig have a little more than the cow. In this other graph, we can see the concentration of antibiotics classified by the countries.
Other use of these antibiotics can lead to multiple problems. For years, animals were administered antibiotics to promote growth, putting in risk the final consumer, us. In the European Union, they banned this practice, followed by the USA in the 2019. So, why is this a problem? The overuse of antibiotics can generate resistance, leading to more multiple resistant bacteria that can be spread to human population, like in COVID-19. The transmission of animal to human disease can lead to several damage to society. In this picture, we can see the sequence of this problem. First, resistance. All animals carry bacteria in their intestines. So then, spread. Resistant bacteria can spread to animal products. Other products are contaminated for the water or soil. Then we have exposure people, where they can sick with resistant infection from contaminated food. And finally, the impact. Some resistant infection can lead to death.
So what can we do? Reasons why we should be vegetarians. First of all, what active residues of veterinary drugs in food of animal origin constitute a risk to human health and can cause a series of consequences on the resistance of bacteria and its transmission. Secondly, there is also an impact on the environment. 93% of fresh water is extracted for agriculture. For instance, the production of 1 kilo of animal protein requires approximately 100 times more water than 1 kilo of grain protein. Thirdly, according to the environmental assessment Model Global Livestock of meat is the largest emitter of greenhouse gases, accounting for 62% of all emissions. Or challenge today. So at a personal level, we can help curb the systematic spread of antibiotics-resistant bacteria by supporting meat and poultry that has been raised without non-therapeutic antibiotics. For example, find sustainably raised meat at your local farmer. Whenever possible, purchase meat raised under standards of third-party certified, such as animal welfare approved. And if you shop at a farmer's market, ask your farmer if and how they use antibiotics. You can also change your eating behavior by decreasing meat consumption and consuming plant-based products more often. For the governments, a ban on the use of antibiotics to stimulate animal growth, effective veterinary control, and high standards of animal welfare and farm management. For instance, in 2022, new European legislation will prohibit all forms of routine antibiotic use in farming
Okay, so now we've heard a lot of information. So please keep in mind, eat healthy and mindful. This will have an impact. If we reduce the grain that we produce, if we reduce the meat that we eat, we can feed more people because grain takes up a lot of space. And this will also reduce global warming, so we can finally avoid eating toxic.
So we would like to thank you for your attention, and please let us know if you have any questions.